Hello gift planning team, my name is Tony Begovic from Empower Fitness, and for your ice-breaking session today we're going to go for a mobility and flexibility session. So I'd like you to all stand up if you could and adopt a stance where your feet are shoulder width apart and your hands are to the side, and when you're ready we're going to make a start. Okay, for our first stretch today we're going to do shoulder rolls. So I want your hands to the side and you're going to lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then set your shoulders back and down. Okay, so we're lifting up and we're rolling back from that position. We're going to do 10 repetitions, so take your time. We'll all finish at different times, but if we do between that range, that's what we're aiming for. So I want you to lift your shoulders up towards your ears, set your shoulder blades back and down, come back into that posture. So we're trying to correct all the positions that promote our shoulders coming forward, so we're trying to correct that by doing the opposite at the moment. Okay, and that's great, we'll stop there. So the next stretch I want you to do is feet shoulder width apart again. Have your hands up to the side, stretch your fingers far apart from one another. Try to imagine your fingertips reaching down and touching the floor. I want you to look to the left, and then you're going to draw a semicircle across the front of your chest as your chin comes across until you get to the right hand side. Okay, once you've done that, we'll go back the way we came to the left hand side. Good, and just keep on repeating this action, going from left to right. Good, and right to left. Sitting our shoulder blades back and down as we do the stretch. Try to relax your shoulders, but you are trying to create your shoulders back and down with good posture. Okay, we'll go back to neutral. So neutral is standing in this position with your hands to the side. Okay, the next stretch I want you to do is arm circles. So you're going to lift your arms up, hopefully you've got the space, and then above your head. So we're creating as large circles as physically possible, and as we go through the stretch, your range of motion will hopefully increase. So we're going to go 5 going forward, so let's say that's 3, 4, 5. Great. Now I want you to go backwards. So when you're ready, we're going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you've done that stretch, I want you to do single arm. So just one arm going forward now. When you're ready, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then going backwards on that same side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then change sides. So I'll go to my left side. We're going forward for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great work. So the next part, engaging our upper body, is you're going to do a Ytw. So the first one is a Y raise. So hands to the side and just point your thumbs out. Now as you lift your arms up, they create this Y shape. So they get further and further away from each other. Set your shoulder blades back and down at the top range of the movement, and then bring them back down to the side. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to do 5 repetitions. 1, good. 2, and go to a range of motion that you'll be able to achieve. 3, so even if it's just to there, that's fine. 4, last one. 5. Good. Now we're moving on to the T, so set your shoulder blades back and down, arms to the side, lifting your hands to shoulder level, setting those shoulder blades back and down, and then bringing your hands back to the side. Okay, let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's great. Back to the side, back to neutral. Now what we're going to do is the W raise, so have your hands at a right angle. So elbows in line with shoulders, and then as you come down, you're bringing your hands to shoulder level, and you're just rotating from that shoulder joint, coming back as far as you can, and that's the position that we want to achieve. So when you're ready, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, and 5. Good, shake your arms out. Now that's one rotation. We're going to go back around one more time, starting with your shoulder roll. So feet shoulder width apart, hands to the side, just loose arms to start with, and then lifting your shoulders towards your ears, and then set your shoulder blades back and down. Good. It's 2. So lifting them up, setting your shoulder blades back and down as you count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 to go, 9, last one, and 10. Good. Okay, now take your hands out to the side for those neck rolls as we did before. Stretch your fingers as far as you can. Fingertips pointing towards floor. Look to the left. Draw a semicircle with your chin across the front of your chest until you get to the right hand side. Take your time throughout the action, then go back the way you came. We'll do 3 on each side. Go 1 more in each direction. Go back the way you came. Back to center. Good. Now we're going into the arm circles together, going forward. So we're going to do 5 going forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you're ready, we're going to go backwards. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now single arms. You can start on the right side. Going forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, and then change arms. Going forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're going into those Ytw Raises, starting with our Y, pointing those palms out, and as your arms go up, they get further and further away from one another, then come back down to the side. Okay, let's go. 1. Good. 2, setting your shoulder blades back. 3, really fighting for greater range of motion each time. Great work. Okay, put your hands to the side. We're going into the T. So open up, broad chest, hands out to shoulder level, and then down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Shake your arms out a little bit. We're going into the W, creating the elbows in line with your shoulders. Then your hands come forward as you rotate from your shoulder, and then you're coming back up. So people with rotator cuff injuries, this might be a good rehabilitation exercise that you could do. You're just trying to fight for the range of motion, trying to get your hands back as far as you can, but maintaining a nice straight line from the top of your head to your tailbone. Okay, good. So that's our shoulders all warmed up. Now we're going into our lower back, as well as our lateral obliques, and then moving into our lower body stretches. So to start with, what I want you to do is adopt a stance which is shoulder width apart. I want you to hold on to your elbows, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Have your forearms at about chest to shoulder level, and then we're rotating from there. So as we rotate, our head and our shoulders will follow the direction of our arms. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to do 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're halfway. 6, 7, 8, 2 to go. 9, last one. 10. Great, so now we're working our lateral obliques and doing a side bend. So there's 2 options here. Imagine you're in between two walls. You've got a brick wall in front and behind. You can't move forward and you can't move back. You can only move from side to side, so move laterally from there. So the first option is trying to get your fingertips to the outside of your knee. So you might not be able to get to the outside of your knee, and you might be more flexible on one side than the other. It's quite common, but just be mindful of where you get to each time. Now, the extension of this exercise or mobility stretch is to come over. So you lift your hand and you're reaching over. So if you haven't started already, please make a start with one of those two exercises. Reaching up, so you can watch your hand as it goes up and over, but still mindful of trying to get the other hand to the outside of your knee or in that general direction. Great. Okay, the next stretch, I'm going to go side on so that you can see what's happening with my back. I have a soft bend in my knees, very soft. That just means like I'm slightly bending my knees. And then from that position, I'm trying to move one vertebrae at a time. As I come forward, my hands are just sliding down my legs. Now, it's not about touching the floor or touching your toes. You get to a range of motion where you feel your hamstrings are engaged and then slowly come back up from there. So if on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being excruciating or quite tight, I want you to stretch to like a 7 or an 8. So there should be some mild discomfort that we're feeling in terms of our hamstrings feeling quite tight, but it shouldn't be going to the point where you feel like it's very uncomfortable. So each time you go down, think about where you're ending up. Are you getting to your shins? Are you getting to your shoelaces, if you've got shoes on? Or are you getting to the floor? Or are you just getting past your knees? So what we're trying to do here is lengthen our hamstrings, but we're also thinking about moving one vertebrae at a time and then placing one vertebrae on top of the other as we come up to an upright standing position. Okay, that's it. Okay, the next stretch we're moving on to is knee lift, so I want you to lift your knee up to about the level of your hip, but your range of motion will dictate how high you actually get. So just to see side on view, you're going up to about the level of your hip in terms of your knee. Okay, so let's go from here. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we should have done about 10 on each side, including the demonstration. Now we're going to go kick back. So imagine that brick wall's in front of you again, so you can't move forward. You can only kick back. So this is going to restrict your range of motion, which is what we're trying to aim for here, because we're trying to isolate your hamstring muscle as we do this stretch. We're going to do 10 on each side for this stretch because our hamstrings are notoriously tight, which can lead to other issues. Okay, so after you have completed the last couple of repetitions there, we're going to move into track stand bends. Now track stand bends, you've got one leg bent, one leg straight, and then you hinge from your hips. So you're hinging back, and then you can change your legs, one leg straight, one leg bent, and hinge back from there. Okay, we're going to do 5 on each side when you're ready. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, try to look straight ahead, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great, okay, so that's the mobility section done. I'm just going to leave you at this point where we're going to engage our core muscles. This is the last thing we're going to do today. So what I want you to think about is there's a coin that sits on your belly button. Now that coin will travel in towards your spine, and then it will travel up underneath your rib cage. Okay, now from that point, I want you to put your hand on your hip bone, go up 1 centimetre and in 1 centimetre. Now just feel there now, once you've actually set that core and braced that core, it should feel hard. Now relax. Now if you push, it should feel soft. Okay, so go up 1 centimetre, in 1 centimetre. Relax, soft. Now I want you to think about pulling the belly button in towards your spine, tuck it up underneath your rib cage. You should feel your shoulders lift here as well. You should have seen my shoulders lift. Now that's engaging your core. Now what I want you to do is just hold for about 5 to 10 seconds each time. So we're going to do this again. Ready? Engage your core. Hold that position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can do this at any time as well. So if we want to strengthen our core, it's like doing it little but often. So if you're sitting at the traffic lights, if you're sitting at a desk and a notification comes on your computer screen, it might be the opportunity to think, okay, I'll just reset my core each time. So take those moments in the day to actually interject with a bit of exercise. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a lovely rest of your seminar, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future soon. Take care. Bye-bye.